Welcome to this episode of Reprint. I'm Ariana Droz. I'm the podcast editor here at TTN, and Reprint is the podcast that gives readers an in-depth look into stories that we've printed in this week's edition. Today, I will be sitting down and chatting with our Opinions editor, Ashely Nteff, to talk about the editorial for this week's community issue. I'll also be chatting with TSG presidential candidate Vanessa Flores about the campaign Temple Together. All right, so let's talk about the editorial for this community special issue.
Right.
So talk about what it means to step out of the campus bubble, and how that applies to the way that students are engaging with the North Philly community that we reside in.
Yeah, so stepping outside of the campus bubble basically means going out and exploring. I feel like a lot of people are afraid or have this anxiety of, going off campus because of like the negative stigma that comes with, Temple in North Philly and, oh, it's dangerous. So like, don't step off campus or something bad is going to happen to you. And we're just trying to say like, hey, you'll be just fine. Like there's so much culture and vibrancy off campus. And we really do encourage students to explore that.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the study and the stats that were in those are still in there, right? Yes. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so let's talk about the study. Do you know at all how it was conducted, and were you surprised by any of the stats that came out from there?
Honestly, I wasn't. I was expecting, a lot of students who live off campus to have that anxiety from not being on campus, especially the things that go out about North Philly and how dangerous it is. So it didn't surprise me at all, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in your research and in how you were presenting to the details, especially the statistics and stuff that came out of the study, what felt like most pressing or important to you to include?
What felt most important to me to include was the negative stereotypes that are placed onto people who live in the community. I feel like there's always a negative stigma placed on people of color and Black people just based off of how they look. And before you interact with them, you already have this idea that, oh, they're dangerous, they're gang affiliated. And with those stats, I wanted to prove that or suggest that that's not true. You have to interact with the people who make the community that you live in so vibrant. You get what I'm saying? So
and I think you also there was when I was reading it, there was a point of really making it clear that college students that are coming from other states or cities are here temporarily. They're here for college. They go home during the holidays and
and people who live here have to stay here, and it's so important to have that kind of respect for them because they've lived here all their lives, and you chose to come here, so it's the least you could do.
Yeah. I mean, as someone, I'm from Philly myself. I grew up here.
Oh, really?
This is just, a really important topic of discussion.
Right.
In my, opinion and experience. So tell me about the decision to write this piece and what you hope students will, who are going to read it, take away from it. And,
I really hope students who don't even come from, the city, because I grew up in the DMV, and that's the city. I mentioned this in the editorial. There's always this commercialized version of a city or a town, and that's what people look for when they come, but that's not always gonna be the reality. We really want people to dig deeper into the community that they choose to be involved with.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the basis of writing this editorial.
Absolutely. So in the spirit of the community issue, tell me about a place that you like to spend time off campus.
I have to think about this one. We have to make this very PG, but obviously the party life is nice, but during the day, I really do enjoy, and this sounds so cliche, but going out to the city, specifically like the underrated parts, the like Kensington.
You like to go to Kensington?
Listen, I got this piercing
Okay.
in Kensington, and I met the most sweetest guy, and the community, like, it's about meeting the people. It's not even about the fun, the little
Going
fun
out partying,
the partying and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like, I enjoy that, but I also enjoy meeting and making those connections with the people. And that's from, shopping or shopping from small businesses. Even if that means getting your hair done, getting your nails done. Like, my nail tech is from Philly. I love her. And it's those things that really touches me.
Yeah, like not being afraid.
Not being afraid of the people. Like, they're people too.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining the pod. First time ever.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll have you back before the end of the year.
Hopefully.
All
Oh
right.
gosh, it's already the end of the year, actually.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Flores, and I'm a junior political science major with a minor in public policy. I've been in student government for over a year now, and when I'm not in student government, I'm also the vice president of risk for all the Panhellenic sororities on campus, and I'm currently an intern at the Wagner Free Institute of Science.
Okay, wait, I love the Wagner. That's one of my favorite places on campus, or like off campus. Okay, so let's talk about your campaign. You're running for TSG president, yeah?
Yes.
So your campaign is called Temple Together, and it highlights unity and expanding student engagement across campus. So tell me about how this campaign came about. What were you seeing or not seeing on campus that made it, come into fruition?
Yeah, so like I said, like I've been in TSG I went through two presidencies, like 2 terms, I guess. And being a director, I didn't have all of like the willpower I could have. Like in TSG, it goes like director, chief, and then EOL and like vice president, president. So like on the administrative side, EOL and like president really deals with administration, and like director is more like initiative based and like more just like on the ground type deal. And I was the director of DEI, and I joined this year when like Trump was elected and all that stuff, and there was a big talk around like DEI and how it would change like DEI in like the college campuses. And to me, like, I don't know, I was never like worried or scared, but I don't know, I like continued doing the same things I was doing. Like, I did a first gen fair. I'm actually working on an international student speed dating. Like, I don't want to just focus, like, I think when people think of DEI, they think of like only minorities and like diversity hire or whatever. But I don't know, I wanted to like pinpoint and support like all different types of groups on campus. Like, I did like a winter tabling. I had like Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, like I had all different types of like winter holidays. I just wanted like everyone to feel included, and like really that is kind of the whole basis of the campaign. Like, I really just want everyone to feel included on campus. Like, I know what it was like. I grew up in a rural area, like where I was like one of the only people of color there. Like, coming to Temple, there is such a diverse student body, and like I just want us to feel more unified and just feel more together, and like that's really just the whole basis of our campaign. And I just got to figure out how to do that. Like, we do have some ideas, but like as I enter the presidency next year, well, because now we're unopposed now, which is really sad because I actually wanted to debate someone, but we just got to take it one day, step by step, and like see what can I improve, and like what can I do this to feel the student body feels like more closer to TSG. And I really do, like, I want to meet with like student orgs that, like, even if they're like not agreeing with what TSG is doing, like that now that it's like now it's going to be my time to like be the president and like be the one in charge. I want to like meet with them, and like I want to talk to them. Like, I want to figure out how we can come to like a consensus together. So
yeah. So let's talk about like the slogan, "Together we thrive." What does that look like to you, and what does that mean in terms of like how we're bringing Temple together to campus?
Yeah, to me, I really like that slogan because, like I said, like the whole campaign is based around like being together and like being one. I said this yesterday during the Meet the Candidates town hall as well. Like being a successful community is really just like showing up for one another, and also I also talked about how like TSG, like we're supposed to serve like like a unified student body, like we're supposed to serve the whole student body as a whole, but that also like takes away from the fact that Temple is so diverse and like we're not all gonna want the same things, we're not gonna all agree on the same things, and I think if we find like, well, when I mean we, like TSG like finding like as leaders of campus, like finding what each student group wants and like how can we help them achieve that, and also just like being more unified, like to me that is really all I want. I don't really care like when people like if people are mad at me or what I'm doing, whatever, they might not agree, like not really know how TSU works, but like to me what will bring me like happiness and like what success like will look like in a term is just like people, I guess, like knowing what TSU does and like being more involved, and also just being a more unified like Temple student body. Like I said, we have, it's such a diverse like student body, but when we get people that like don't really hang around each other, like are so different, and they're like together hanging out in like the same space, like seeing that is just like that would make me like so happy. So
yeah. And you were talking about you have some ideas. Do you want to talk about how you want to execute this campaign?
Yeah, so definitely we talked about like athletics. So I feel like at Temple not a lot of people go to like football games, basketball games, and
that's one of our
our program.
things.
Yeah, I was reading your guys' article. I was looking at someone did in like 2022, 2023, like a poll or like a little survey of like why do people not go, like, and one was like the program would be better, and then the second one was like, oh, we don't really know about the games. But like I'm like, okay, I get an email every week and it's like come to the game. I'm like, I'm sorry, how do you not know that there's a game happening? Like, but I really feel like the reason why people don't show up to these games is because there's just like no sense of community. Like there's no, like, why would I agree, honestly, why would I want to go on a Thursday at 5 p.m. to go watch like basketball when the stadium's empty and I could be at home laying in bed, like, or doing whatever. But I feel like I want to envision, like, I want to talk to MCPB, I think that's the main campus program board, yeah, and maybe doing like a barbecue on Bury Beach, like before homecoming, like just to have like a third space for people, and like for people on campus if they're bored, you know, to like do something. And it's like, okay, like this is before homecoming, like maybe I want to go to homecoming, like I want to go to the game because one, like all my friends are there, and like two, yeah, we suck, but like you're gonna be with all your friends and having a good time. Like that's like, I don't know, that's like one idea that I had like through like working with like the Department of Athletics and like seeing how do we get like more people to show up, like not because we're horrible, yeah, but like to be with your friends. Like that's the main thing. Like I remember like growing up, like in my school, like in my high school, we sucked at football so bad, but like yes, everyone was there every Friday because you knew your friends were there and it was something to do and it was something fun. Like you knew you were with like community, you were with your friends, whatever. And sorry, that was a side tangent, but okay, that. And then also I just wanted to, I don't know, I also want to push out more like events. Like I had this TSG like newsletter idea, which is I feel like it's a really good idea in the sense that people don't, like yesterday I got a question at the town hall and they were like, what are you going to do for students to find information like about TSG, like so they don't have to like keep going on the Instagram, or like they don't really know where to find information. And I was like, yeah, like a newsletter is like so great because like every college or your major might give you like a newsletter, and then that way you have like a solidified source that you know like when it'll be out and you can trust it, and it has like all the information you need. Like that I want to do. And then also like a website, so just so like there's just like a sense that you know where to find answers. And also like we're going to put events on there too, so everyone can be like, oh, I'm like this day when, like if there's an event, I want to go there, like I want to be with friends, like just get to know more people, like even doing like more social programs, like or just doing more social events like with it hosted by TSG would be good too. You know, just having a like we go to such a big school, so that makes it even 10 times harder to make friends, to make actual good friends. And like just making more like third spaces for college students and like even just like for the community, like that would just like bring us together. So
like bridging the gap between TSG and student body.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, you said that perfectly.
So this week is our community issue for TTN, and I want to talk a little bit about what I saw in the piece that covered your campaign, which was that you're proposing changes to the Good Neighbor Initiative. So what changes are you proposing, and how do you anticipate that materializing?
I looked that it was created in 2015, and then it was last amended, I guess, last year. And I was like, okay, but like, what changes? What was it? Because the first I ever heard of it was my sophomore year, and it was like, Temple pledges that students will not be loud, won't be disorderly conduct when they're drunk, won't have trash all over the place. But then every week and every weekend, I'm like, I leave my apartment, I'm like, that's what I'm seeing. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just something for Temple to sleep better at night. But I think this will also help, like, for students also to really push on to Temple. Like, I can push all I want, like TSG can push all we want, but we really also need students to also use their voice. And I want them to hold these off-campus housing they have these off-campus housing contracts. I think they really need to hold them accountable, like Temple Villas, off-campus Philly, like all those. The Dean of Students deals with that, and I feel like they should really be holding these properties accountable and saying, like, if they see that there's trash everywhere, I'm like, you need to contact them and be like, hey, your property looks like this. You're violating our code of conduct. You need to do this, or you get a fee or whatever. We'll work that out. But, like, that definitely trash. It's just, like, so disrespectful coming here to moving in North Philadelphia and you're, like, trashing the place and you're just, like, you need to be more mindful. And I feel like Temple definitely needs to also hold their students accountable. Like, it needs to start from the top bottom, not the students, and then Temple just falls in line or whatever. But
absolutely. So let's talk about also, like, student resources that you might be hoping to advocate for. So what does that look like?
Yeah, so I feel like there are so many on-campus, like, resources that not a lot of people use. Like, I talked about, like, the flight. Like, the flight is really a great resource. I feel like not many schools have that. Like, if any schools have that at all, actually. Like, a bus that will take you from campus, drop you off at your, like, the block of your apartment, that's so cool to me. Like, that's... Like that, and the fact that no one uses it, but at the same time, I also, like, I didn't really use it by myself. Like, I would take it with my friends because, like, they know how to use it. And then I'm like, wait, if I don't even understand how this flight thing works, then something needs to change. Like, we need to have better maps that are, like, show, like, a key of where they pick you up, where the, like, line goes. Like, someone in TSG actually made maps right now, and they're so beautiful, like, so easy to understand. And I'm like, but, like, what's happening to it? Like, has Temple put these out? Like, no. So I think it's just really working with, like, Temple and being like, hey, like, this needs to be more accessible for students to, like, see it, and also easier for them to understand. And also I talked about I want to have, like, actual visible placards around campus that might have, like, a QR code or, like, the website, but I feel like the QR code would be better. That will, like, once you scan it, take you to, like, the request for a walking escort, or, like, TUPD if you need that, like, flight, like, if you want to see, like, where the flight is, like, definitely having trackers would be useful as well. Like, just having the placard out there, it increases visibility and also just, like, will increase usership from, like, students. Like, I feel like that's also why a lot of the resources that we have on campus aren't being used. Sometimes, yes, it needs to be shoved down students' throats. Like, it needs to be shown more, and I feel like we need to have an increase of, like, visibility for these resources. Like, we also talked about the Essential Needs Hub that's opening up downstairs in the SAC. Like, we had someone come and talk to us. We had, like, a retreat for TSG, and someone came and talked to us about the Essentials Needs Hub, and that they're, like, thinking it's like a classroom space. They're having like they were thinking of doing like sewing lessons for like how to hem like pants and stuff, and I was like, wow, like that's really great. I didn't even know about that. Like I feel like Temple also needs to just like push these more and just like even have days where it's like a drop-in day or like walk-in day where students can just come in and just like play with the stuff that they have, like see all the resources that they have for students. Like it definitely just needs to be pushed more, and I feel like we should definitely like we will find a way to like push that. So
yeah, amazing. I mean, I think they always send us emails and stuff, but like, you know, a lot of us don't check our emails regularly.
right.
So yeah, like finding ways to like actually put up things on campus and like, you know, put it in your face. Okay, so in the spirit of the community issue, do you want to tell us what is one of your favorite places? Like, where do you like to spend time off campus?
Okay, yeah. Let me think. I feel like I have a few, but okay, I really like the park near, I think it's Independence Hall. I think that's what it is. It's like a little park. I love it so much. Like after, I would go there with a book and I would just get a blanket and just lay there and just look at the trees. Cause like where I grew up or like where I'm from, it's very like rural, like very foresty, like lots of trees. So even like as a freshman, I remember I was like, I miss that, like being in a city, like I miss that so much. So like just going there and laying down with a blanket and like looking at the trees and like leaves and like all the greenery, I was like, wow, like I feel like I was at home. But even now, like I love just like walking in there and like sitting on the bench and like even when I can't wait until the weather gets nicer, I can just sit on the bench and just like read a book and just enjoy the park. So yeah.
Is that like Washington Square Park?
I don't
in like Old City.
Yeah, it's like in Old City. It's where like the oh my gosh, the like for the museum is that like what is it? It's like the Independent or the
like where the Liberty Bell is?
Yeah, like
okay.
like that area.
Okay.
There's like I think there's like it's like Independence Hall or like there's something there and it's like a park. Like I love it so much. I would recommend. But
very nice. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the pod and chatting with me.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Reprint. You can find these stories and many more on our website at www.temple-news.com, and you can follow us on all socials at The Temple News. See you for the next one.